Good afternoon. My name is Camille Hannes King. On behalf of the JCA's Women's Committee, welcome to our annual International Women's Day Women Recognizing Women celebration. We're so happy you've taken the time from wherever you are to join us in this virtual event. At this time last year, we were celebrating International Women's Day in person at the JCA Center. None of us could have or would have predicted that 2 weeks after that event, a state of emergency would have been declared in Ontario. Yet here we are, 1 year later, physically distancing, so many adjustments and adaptations, our lives changed, but resilient. So today, in this moment, let's come together, united in a spirit of celebration of our honorees and all women. But first, let's begin the festivities with the singing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a young woman whose talents include being a singer and songwriter, Melissa Adams.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Melissa. That was lovely. Globally, International Women's Day is held on March the 8th. This year, the campaign's theme is #Choose the Challenge. It focuses our collective choice to challenge and call out gender bias, stereotypes, and inequities, to create a more inclusive world, while at the same time celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. Today, we have gathered in this virtual world to celebrate and recognize the 4 honorees: Dion Sinclair, Marie Clark Walker, Dr. Roberta Timothy, and Dr. Sharon Whiting, for their outstanding achievements, dedication, and their commitment to fostering change in our world. But for every woman watching today is also a celebration of you. Yes, you. We honor and celebrate our collective struggles and collective achievements. International Women's Day gives us an opportunity to reflect on the road we have traveled and to look ahead to the journey of still what needs to be done. We all know the struggle is not over, wherever our location. But for the next 90 minutes, let's all bask in the glow of our collective brilliance. I will now turn over the hosting duties to a woman who almost needs no introduction. She's a community champion, a trailblazer, a cultural storytelling icon, a woman who never fails to entertain. Ladies and gentlemen, Sandra Whiting.
Thank you, Camille. I told Camille to say one word, host. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be part of this wonderful program. Know that you are all Talawa. Our women, all our women are Talawa. And I just wanted to just go over what woman means. Woman, W, wonderful. O, outstanding. M, marvelous. A, amazing. And N, nice. So thank you, Camille. Camille is a former clinical and educational mental health therapist. She says she is retired, but she's a staunch volunteer at the JCA. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the president of the Jamaican Canadian Association, none other than Adoma Patterson.
Good afternoon, Sandra, Camille. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a bright, sunny afternoon here in the Greater Toronto area, and I am so blessed to be able to join all of you for the JCA Women Committee 21st Annual International Women's Day celebration. As Camille mentioned, our last year's IWD was the last in-person event held at the JCA Center. It was a spectacular afternoon of sisterhood, laughter, hugs, something we have not had in a year, and positive vibes. Of course, no one imagined that 1 year later, we would still not be able to see each other in person. This past year has tested us, stressed us, caused unimaginable pain for some and opportunities for others. Women, and Black women in particular, have been disproportionately impacted by COVID. Many of our sisters work on the front lines, whether in healthcare or in the service sector, and have bear the brunt of the health and economic impacts of COVID. Today, we remember and salute you. The late Rosemary Brown, the first Black woman to be elected to a provincial parliament, said, "We must open the doors and we must see to it that they remain open so that others can pass through." For 21 years, our IWD celebration has highlighted those women in the JCA and community who do what Rosemary Brown said and did. They have been the backbone of the JCA. They have excelled in their respective fields, overcome many obstacles, and ensured they are not the last to rise. Today's honorees are no exception. We boldly and proudly celebrate them and all Black women who inspire us to choose to challenge, keep fighting anti-Black racism and systemic discrimination, keep striving for excellence. You will hear from our honorees, Marie Clark Walker, Dr. Sharon Whiting, Dr. Roberta Timothy, and Dion Sinclair later in the program. We are also delighted to welcome several special guests this afternoon. MPPs Laura May Lindo, Dr. Jill Andrew, Mitzi Hunter, and Brampton councillor Charmaine Williams. Thank you for your continued support of the JCA. We appreciate you and stand with you as you continue to represent our community and your constituents. And speaking of women who inspire change, I would like to give a big shout out to the Honorable Jean Augustine. Of course, we all know the first Black woman elected to the House of Commons and who 25 years ago championed the legislation to designate February as Black History Month in Canada. Another example of choosing to challenge and opening the doors for others. On behalf of my board colleagues, Michelle Mackenzie-Dolly, David Betty, Audrey Miller-Raybould, Kashane Denton, Michelle Davis, Yolande Davidson, and Benito Palomino, thank you to the Women's Committee team led by Camille Hanez King. Enjoy the celebration, everyone, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you. Bringing greetings from the city of Brampton, Charmaine Williams, councillor.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank the Jamaican Canadian Association for inviting me to attend our celebration with such outstanding symbols of inspiration and achievement. Dion Sinclair, Dr. Roberta Timothy, Mary Claire Walker, Dr. Sharon Whiting. Congratulations, all of you. I am so proud of the work you do and the impact you make. Thank you for your ongoing service. So my name is Charmaine Williams. I'm the elected representative for Brampton Ward 7 and 8. And being a councillor on a good day has its challenges. Being Brampton's first elected Black woman, well, that's quite another thing altogether. As Black women, we often face a special brand of resistance. We often face a special brand of peppered personal attacks. As Black women, we all know what playing the game really means. Playing the game, not our game, but an old game. You know, we play by the rules, playing the rules we had no say in formulating. Repeatedly, we discover that just as we're about to win and just as we're about to approach victory, time and time again, the rug gets pulled out from beneath us. And time again, somehow the rules are changed to make victory, that finish line, a little bit more difficult, a little bit more unattainable. We know this, and yet, with the grace of God, we are here today. We thrive. So, as we join forces to celebrate International Women's Day with the Jamaican Canadian Association, we should do so with a renewed commitment to supporting each other, young and old, and make sure that the pulling the rug from beneath us becomes a little bit more difficult and a little bit more unattainable. And as we celebrate, we must celebrate Women's Day with a renewed commitment to strive and encourage one another, to take our seats at our own tables, to create equitable paths and policies to ensure we design and capture victory on our own terms, in our own ways. This is what it means to celebrate International Women's Day. And this is what it means to honor the strength and the devotion of Jamaican women. This is why we must take the time every day to reflect on our achievements and big up ourselves and continue to be women who inspire change. Once again, thank you to the Jamaican Canadian Association, the board, the Women's Committee. Thank you for all of the great work you do, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Charmaine.
Thank you, Sandra.
And now we'll hear from Dr. Jill Andrew, MPP for Toronto St. Paul, NDP Culture and Women's Issues Critic for the official opposition.
Greetings to the Women's Committee for the JCA. My name is Laura May Lindo. I'm the MPP for Kitchener Centre. I am your critic for anti-racism as well as colleges and universities, and the chair of the Ontario NDP's Black Caucus. But I am not here to talk about me. I am here to celebrate women who inspire change. I wish that I could be there with you today to celebrate these amazing women. I really do. I happen to be at an event speaking for another Women's Day event in my area, but I didn't want to miss an opportunity to tell you folks how much I love the work that you do, how much I appreciate the work that you do, and how much these women inspire me. So to all of the winners, please know that I am surrounding you with the love, the care, and the support that you need. If you need anything, you know where to find me. And congratulations. May you all enjoy a wonderful glass of rum punch on me.
As you can see, that was Dr. Laura May Lindo, MPP for Kitchener Centre. We have, I hope, Dr. Jill Andrew, MPP for Toronto St. Paul. Okay, she's not in yet. So Oh, here she is. Thank you, Jerry. I was like,
Hi, Sandra. How are you? I was here from the very beginning, actually, but I guess there was a technical difficulty.
oh, no problem. Lovely
It
to
is
see
an
you.
absolute honor to be here celebrating International Women's Day with the Jamaican Canadian Association. I was there last year. Obviously, it was much different than it is today. But nonetheless, thank you to the JCA's Women's Committee for creating this space where we can celebrate each other, celebrate the women who have come before us, like Rosemary Brown, like Dr. Jean Augustine, like the Honorable Zanena Akonde, and I could go on and on, like Dr. Sandra Whiting, for goodness sakes. It's a real honor for me to be here today. We need to celebrate our Black womanhood 365 days a year. We do not need a special day of significance to remind us of that. However, these days are powerful. They allow us to bring community together, even virtually as well. So I just want to say congratulations to all of the recipients today, Dr. Roberta Timothy, Dion Sinclair, Sandra Whiting, Marie Clark Walker. Thank you for your leadership in health promotion, in education, in arts and culture and heritage, in storytelling, in business, in all the facets and sectors and spheres of life that Black women have led the way in for so very long. And we will continue to inspire and motivate all of those young Black girls coming up behind us to not ask for their space at the table, but to demand and to take and to make their own table when necessary and bring a chair, not only for themselves, but for another young Black girl as well. So thank you so very much for having me. We will continue to rise. We will continue to thrive. COVID-19 has been a difficult period. As we know, Black women have been disproportionately impacted by this pandemic. We have been on the front lines, every line. Quite frankly, Black women have shouldered this pandemic. We are strong, we are vulnerable, we are loud, we are quiet, we are women, we are human beings, and we'll continue to fight for our human rights. We'll continue to fight to be seen and heard, and we will continue to uprise and to make noise on behalf of our community and our community's needs. So thank you very, very much for having me today. Mwah. Sending hugs and kisses to all of you, ear hugs. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill Andrew. We're now going to have a sponsor greeting from the JCA Men's Group.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Friends of the JCA and the JCA Men's Group, we are very proud to sponsor this year's International Women's Day 2021, where women recognize women. This event is presented by the JCA Women's Committee. We're very proud of the women of the JCA. They have done a tremendous job, and it is our pleasure to support them today. To the awardees of the Women Who Inspired Change Awards, congratulations. You've done a terrific job. You're well-deserving, you're terrific mentors and trailblazers. To the men who have supported in sponsoring this event today, and I shall name them. Yours truly, Alton Brooks, Brian Smith, electrician, Christopher Williams, Danny Crooks, Dr. Sylvanus Thompson, Dwayne Osborne, Glenford Gordon, Harold Mattox, Kenton Davis, Laurel Stels, CPA, Leighton Henry, Owen Dunbar, Patrick Bailey, and Patrick Cole. Thanks to all of us, we have the pleasure of sponsoring this year's event. And again, we are honored. We're very proud, and we are thankful. We're thankful for all that you do. Please continue the terrific work, and have a tremendous afternoon today. Many blessings. Take care.
Thank you, Alton. So I do want to let you know that we're giving away and we have chosen 2 people. The first person who registered was Pam Powell, and she gets a Starbucks gift card. And the 20th person who registered, Zenova Brown, she gets a Tim Horton gift card. When you go for your walk, stop and just have a coffee on the JCA. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Samantha Ray. She's a spoken word poet, writer, actress, radio and TV personality. She studied acting at New York Film School and currently is in a journalism program in Toronto. She's going to do Still I Rise from Maya Angelou.
Still I Rise is an empowering poem written by Maya Angelou. It speaks to overcoming struggles of injustice and prejudice. The women being celebrated here today have overcome what may have seemed at the time like insurmountable obstacles. I am just beyond honored to have been given access to this platform to share my talent. This is Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness offend you? Why are you so beset with gloom? Is it because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns and with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders fallen weakened by soulful cries. Does my hauntedness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds meeting at my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I'll rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I'll rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bear with the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear. I'll rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I'll rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I'll rise. I'll rise. I'll rise. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you so much, Samantha Ray. And still I rise. We all rise because we are Talawa. And bringing on another Talawa woman, MPP Mitzi Hunter, MPP for Scarborough Guildwood, someone I know so well, so proud to know this woman. MPP Mitzi Hunter.
Thank you so much, Sandra Whiting. It is an honor, a pleasure, and a thrill to join you today. And boy, just when you come on the screen, everything gets brighter. So thank you for all that you do. I want to say a thank you to the Women's Committee at the Jamaica Canadian Association for celebrating virtually this year the annual Women Recognizing Women for International Women's Day. It is so important that we continue to gather even in the face of COVID. And, you know, this year, the theme for International Women's Day is Choose to Challenge. And I want to recognize the JCA in meeting the challenge of COVID-19 this year, the extraordinary work that you have done to bring food and meals to seniors and to the elderly across the GTA has been truly inspiring. I am thrilled today to join in this celebration to recognize the achievements of these outstanding women. Dr. Roberta Timothy, Dion Sinclair, Dr. Sharon Whiting, and Marie Clark Walker. Women who inspire and who continue to inspire. And these awards are but a token of the community recognizing you for your achievements and for your contributions. You know, the contributions of Black women need to be recognized and celebrated. And I really am thrilled that the JCA continues to do these awards. This year's theme of Choose to Challenge is very fitting. I urge all the women who are watching today, all the people watching today, to take inspiration from these amazing women that we are celebrating and honoring today, because their work speaks much. You know, I have been thinking about the challenge post COVID-19. And while we recognize that the pandemic has had a devastating impact on the Black community and on people in the Black community, and if we are really to look at the data on women in the Black community who have borne the blunt, whether as personal support workers or essential workers, what we know is that post-pandemic, we cannot afford to lose any of the gains that we have made as women. So we have to insist on investments being made in areas like childcare and to support a full economic recovery for all women. I also urge women to think about non-traditional fields in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, in trades and technology. You know, as Jamaican women living here in Canada, we little, but we talawa. And, you know, I want to just give one example, two examples, in fact, of the contributions. Senator and Dr. Rosemary Moody Wong, who is championing women and children's rights across Canada. And of course, our very own Miss Lily Johnson, who was born March 16, 1922. And I want to say happy birthday to Miss Lily. She was the founder of the Sickle Cell Association of Ontario, changing the lives of many people living with sickle cell. So there is a lot that we have done as a community. There's more that we need to do. My challenge to you is choose one thing that you want to change and make that a bold change, because the future depends on it. Thank you and walk good.
Thank you so much, Mitzi. Well said, as always. And now I would like to bring Tara Grant to sing for us a song about royalty. Did you know that purple is the color of loyalty, consistency of purpose, dignity, and self-respect? And it's a color for Women's Day, but it's also the color of royalty. And she's going to be singing She's Royal. Tara Grant.
Thank you. Ooh. In the eyes of Taurus Riley, she's royal. Yeah. No, I've never been someone shy until I seen her eyes. Still I had to try. Yeah. Oh yes, let me get my work right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry. No, I know everyone can relate to when they find that special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, the way she moved to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's the queen. Oh, oh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's the queen. She's the queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal, and I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine until the night that I seen your eyes. My queen, my queen, so supreme. I can see in her eyes the way she smiles, yeah. Yes, I know the king and queen crown same time, so I'll never leave your side. Just stick to me through the trial times. Oh, and she no mind, cause right now good man is hard to find, and she can't bother join no line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know every man are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. No, the way she moved to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Oh, oh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so wonderful kind. No, the way she moved to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, my Nubian queen. Oh, oh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tara. Did you hear that? Moves to her only beat. Qualities of a queen. Did you know that behind every successful woman is herself? So I'm pleased to bring back Camille to talk about the first winner today. And now let me tell you about our first winner. She is Dion Sinclair. She is currently the multi-site director of diversity and cultural advancement with South Lake Regional Health Center and Aurelia Soldiers Memorial Hospital. In this role, she focuses on identifying gaps and developing strategies to create more just and equitable workplaces. She's a member of the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario, the Black Nurses Task Force, and is a founding member of that association. And reporting directly to the CEO of both hospitals, she's working with all levels of leadership to develop an enterprise-wide framework. As a certified healthcare executive, her previous roles include Clinical Director of the Medicine Program at South Lake Regional Hospital, Director of Home and Community Care Planning and Strategy for the Northwest Local Health Integration Network, and the Manager of Mental Health and Addictions at Humber River Hospital. She's also a mother of 3 beautiful girls, an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and is an award-winning fitness professional. Dion Sinclair.
So I guess we've got a little bit of lapse. So on behalf of the JCA's Women's Committee, we recognize Dion Sinclair as an inspiration of change. Dion, the brilliant glow of your achievements blazes a trail that illuminates a path for others to follow. And Dion was able to get her award last night, so we'll be able to show Dion with her award.
Congratulations, Dion. We will be meeting you properly shortly. Let's see your award. Hold it up. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. And would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I would. I am dedicating this award to my mother, Blossom Sinclair. My mom left Jamaica and came to Canada in 1972. She worked extremely hard for her 4 children. And I am just so proud to be accepting this award. And I really dedicate it to her hard work for making sure her children went to post-secondary education. She really pushed me. Many times I wanted to quit nursing. And she said, no, you're not going to, because you're going to achieve so much. And I am so proud to be her daughter. And I am just so thankful. So, Mom, it is for you. And yes, may I big you up on this channel. And I want to just say thank you so much, because I know how hard you've worked. Even though you could have been a nurse, you had to come and work for all of us. So I appreciate you. I love you. You are my inspiration, and this award is dedicated to you.
Thank you. Our next winner is Dr. Roberta Timothy. She is an interdisciplinary scholar, health practitioner, and political scientist. She's an assistant professor, director of health promotion at Dalla Lana School of Public Health at the University of Toronto, and she's an adjunct professor in critical disability studies at York University. She has an MA in political science and international development, an M.Ed in counseling psychology, and a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Applied Psychology and Human Development at OISE University of Toronto. For over 30 years, her work has focused in community health, working on resisting anti-Black racism. She examines global health and ethics from a critical, trauma-informed, decolonizing framework, and specializes in the area of Black health. Transformative mentoring is also a career priority. In 2003, she founded Black Women and Women of African Descent, an organization that hosts dialogues and does community forums. She herself has been living with a visual disability for over 25 years. Her motto, Black resistance is inevitable, healing is political. Misogyny noir must be dismantled. African Black women, fierceness forever. Please welcome Dr. Roberta Timothy. Congratulations. Are we going to see her?
Thank you so much, Sandra. I'm so happy and honored to get this award. I'd like to just honor everyone with a poem today. I wrote this poem 21 years ago at my first conference in Jamaica on a beach in Mobay. And since then, I've shared it with over the world. It's called Woman, Woman. It's actually dedicated to all women working in anti-violence movement who fight for justice every day and all men who support them. It is an answer and call poem. So when I say woman, woman, unite, I like people to say woman, woman must fight. And I know we're online, so you have to scream it to your TVs and just pump it up. I'm going to start right now. Woman at work, woman at work, woman at work. Factory work, piece work, hard labor break your back work. No dollar make you wanna holla work. Transnational exploitive work, rich corporate yard work, COVID-19 essential service work, woman at work. The uprising begins as women's voices holla and sing, and the protest begins. Woman from the night, woman from the light, woman, 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 unite. Woman, woman, woman must fight. From the seas of Africa to the oceans of the Caribbean, to the mountains of China, India, and the Middle East, the rivers of Europe, to the dancing indigenous forests of North and South America, and by the winds of all other lands. Woman, I'll shout. Woman, I'll move. Woman, I'll groove. Woman, I'll stand. Woman, I'll say no to poverty, no to violence, isolation, and silence today. No to child labor, no to forced prostitution, trafficking, war, and enslaved labor. No to exploitation, no to globalization. Yes to non-sexist, non-racist, non-classist education. Woman, 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 unite. Woman, woman, woman must fight. Black women are resist. Black women are insist. Black women are possess. Black women are fight. Woman, 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 unite. Woman, woman, woman must fight. Woman, woman, woman. Thank you.
And Camille will be presenting.
Well, on behalf of the JCA's Women's Committee, we recognize Dr. Roberta Timothy as an inspiration of change. The brilliant glow of your achievement blazes a trail that illuminates a path for others to follow. Congratulations, Dr. Timothy.
Thank you.
And Dr. Timothy was able to get her award yesterday. So in spite of COVID, we were able to get around that. So thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really am honored. I'm humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Timothy. Yeah, what were you going to say, Camille?
I'd like to say a few words about the award that the recipients are getting. so that people know exactly what it's about. So the Women Who Inspired Change Award was conceived to recognize and celebrate the tremendous accomplishments of Black women who, through their dedication to their fields and volunteerism, inspire individuals, the community, and society, thus shaping and creating change. Shirley Chisholm said, "If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair." Our Women Who Inspire Change honorees don't just bring a folding chair to sit at the table, they bring cement blocks so that they can build foundations that others may have the opportunities to soar. Our awardees make their own history through the pursuit of their dreams. They dare to turn dreams into reality. So today I am both humbled and excited to be celebrating these 4 women who, through their dedication, commitment, and energy, have found the courage to charter a course which creates their change in our world. And I congratulate them. Thank you.
Thank you, Camille. Now going to have some entertainment by a woman who said she wrote and recorded this song after losing her sister to cancer. Says she has not sung it in over 12 years. But over these years, its dedication and meaning has evolved. But it holds true even today. And she remains grateful to all the sister friends gathered along her journey. Her song is entitled Sisters. Her name is Beatrice Rose Langford.
Hello and greetings, everybody. I'm here in Michigan, USA. So saying hello to all my family and friends in Montreal and around the globe. I hope this song will be a blessing to you all. I haven't sung it in a while, it's true. And but bear with me. God bless you. We may live miles apart, leading our lives by our own clock, but always in my mind and in my heart. Oh, how we write, we text, FaceTime on our phones, sharing thoughts, exchanging goals. A few little words can mean so much. We are called sisters, 'cause sisters are forever. We are called sisters, so everybody knows. And oh, I love my sisters and everything we share together. 'Cause a sister is the best kind of friend. They may be younger, they may be older, they may be wiser, maybe even bolder, but there's no secret that cannot be told. Oh, We live our own lives, but we're part of one soul. We don't always see eye to eye at all. But she'd always give to me a hand whenever I fall. And she lets me know when I'm right or when I'm wrong, and when I'm feeling weak, she is strong. She is a sister. Yes, 'cause sisters are forever, and we are called sisters, so that everybody knows. Oh, I love my sisters, and all the laughs we share, and the time we spend. Yes, if you got one, well, you got a lot, 'cause sisters are forever. I love them so. Thank you, my sisters.
Thank you, Beatrice Rose. So moving and so true. We love them so. We do. And our next awardee is well known to our organization, Marie Clark Walker. She's Secretary Treasurer of the Canadian Labour Congress, and has fought for equality and social justice all her life. She's proud to follow in the footsteps of her mother, a retired trade union activist and feminist, and her father, a lawyer who has represented workers all his life. This exposure informed her working life and has resulted in a career spanning 4 decades of breaking boundaries. She's a published author, vice president, Labour of a national political party, and is the first racialized woman to hold the position of Secretary Treasurer for the Canadian Labour Congress. Alongside her work in Canada, Marie has served as deputy member of the International Labour Organization and is currently a titular member on the ILO governing body. In 2017, she served as Vice President Workers of their annual conference, and most recently, as the Worker Vice Chair, she helped to negotiate the historic convention and recommendations on violence and harassment in the world of work. Family and community are central to Marie's life. She's the proud mother of 2 sons, a dedicated femtor, and a staunch believer that social justice is essential to universal and lasting peace. Presenting her award is Eunice Graham, IWE committee member.
Marie Clark Walker is a trailblazer who has challenged the status quo within the trade union movement by becoming the youngest person ever and the first racialized woman to be elected as the executive VP of the Canadian Labour Congress in 2002. She repeated this feat in 2017 when she was again elected Secretary-Treasurer, the first racialized woman to hold this position, and in her fight for equality and justice for all. I am convinced that her first words is, her work with the UN Women Organization is stellar. She is here today because of COVID-19. Otherwise, Marie embodies the definition of a woman who inspires change. It gives me pleasure to present the system. And I'll read the inscription. JCA Women's Committee recognizes Marie Clark Walker as an inspiration of change. The brilliant glow of your achievement. Congratulations, my sister. Love you.
Thank you so much, Eunice.
And because of COVID, this is a virtual presentation, so we were unable to get it to you. But Marie, here is your award. So I given to you, catch it. But thank you so much. So the glow of your achievement blazes a trail and it illuminates a path that others may follow. We are so proud of you and we are honored to give this to you. Thank you for being a woman who is an inspiration of change. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Camille. It means so much that this came from both you and Eunice. I have known both of you for a very, very long time, and Eunice is right. Had this not been COVID, I would be in Geneva at my meetings or in New York at the United Nations Committee on the Status of Women. So I'm very happy that I'm here to accept the award. I want to thank the JCA Women's Committee as well as their executive, and I'm honored and privileged to be recognized alongside some phenomenal sisters. Jean Augustine challenged us a few weeks ago to use quotes from Canadians. So I'm so happy that Adoma quoted Rosemary Brown, who is my femtor, or at least one of my femtors, the other sitting right beside me, right here with me, and has been here beside me and with me this entire time. I want to quote Michael Jean at the very end to take up Jean's challenge. But I also want to say that this dedication today, this award today, for me is dedicated to our frontline sisters, because without them, we wouldn't be here. Those are the workers who are making sure that we are fed, making sure that we are well, making sure that we got it together. So for all of my sisters out there on the front line, and note that I said sisters, I know that there are sisters out there as well that are doing their thing, but today I really, really want to give a collective hug to my sisters, because they're the ones that keep me afloat. They're the ones that I do this work for. They're the ones that are there for all of us when nobody else is. So again, thank you all very, very much. And Sandra, I choose to challenge inequity in all of its forms, not just outside, but inside the labor movement as well, because you know that we've got our challenges there. So thank you all very, very much. I really, truly appreciate.
Thank you, Marie. Our next awardee is someone who I know really well. And I know today Lilith and Stephen Whiting would be very proud. Dr. Sharon Whiting is a pediatric neurologist at the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, CHEO, in Ottawa. She's an associate professor in the Faculty of Medicine at the University of Ottawa. She received her medical degree, MBBS, from the University of the West Indies, and her specialization in pediatrics and neurology from the University of Ottawa and the University of British Columbia. She then pursued further training in epilepsy at the University of Western Ontario. On completion of this, she was accepted on staff at CHEO and the University of Ottawa, where she has an active clinical practice in epilepsy and sleep disorders and is in charge of the ketogenic diet programs for patients. She's the program director for the Epilepsy Fellowship at the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. She has held several roles at CHEO, Chief of the Division of Neurology, Chief of Staff, and she's now co-director for the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, EDI, task force that was recently established. She's also Vice Dean of Faculty Affairs, where she's responsible for the mandates of wellness, professionalism, and equity, all of which ensure opportunities for professional development. In this role, she has developed mentorship programs for women faculty, Black medical students, and LGBTQ students. She's had several national roles, including the President of the Child Neurology Association of Canada against epilepsy. She's an active member of the Black Physicians Associations of Toronto, where she's involved developing an equitable workforce for Canada. She's also co-chair for the EDI task force at Children's Hospital. She's also the mother of 2 sons. Dr. Sharon Whiting.
Hello, everyone. Dr. Whiting, a big congratulations on behalf of the Women's Committee and the Board of Directors. We also thank you because over the years, through your sister, Sandy, you have contributed to our Good Walkathon that encourages health, encourages collaboration among Black organizations in the GTA, and we know that you have been a consistent contributor to that. So again, big congratulations, and thank you so much for all that you do and the important work you continue to do. Certainly remarkable in just listening to your bio and in reading some of the articles that I've read over the past weeks about you.
Thank you. So I'm really honored to accept this award. Are we going to, Camille, do you want to talk about it first?
Okay. Sure. So on behalf of the Women's Committee, we are delighted and absolutely honored to be able to give you this award. The brilliant glow of your achievement blazes a trail and illuminates a path for others to follow. We recognize your achievement. Congratulations, Dr. Whiting. Absolutely deserves. We are truly honored. And there you go. Your turn.
My turn now. Okay, so I'm really honored to accept this award from the Jamaican Canadian Association, and I'm so happy that I was considered for this, especially on International Women's Day. So I've had the opportunity, privilege, and I've achieved success as a woman in the academic arena in Jamaica and in Canada. We've heard during this discussion today that there's been impact of COVID on the Black population and women in particular. And this pandemic has had a disproportionate impact on female colleagues in the academic world. Canada is at a very pivotal time for people, and especially for Black physicians. We're pushing the boundaries for a more equitable environment, increased representation at all levels of academia, and I'm really pleased to be involved in this process. So today I'd like to dedicate my award to the women that I mentor. I hope they have gained from my relationships with them. We inspire and we support each other. So I'd like to really thank the people who have helped me along the journey. First of all, the women in my family, the amazing women, my sisters, and one is here today, Sandra Whiting, very talented and accomplished, Cheryl Percival, my sister-in-law, Monica Whiting, and my nieces, Tanisha and Lauren, and all the women who walk with me as my friends along the way. Finally, last but not least, I could not have accomplished all this without the men in my life. And so I'd really like to thank my husband of many, many decades, Walter Burroughs, and my two boys, Darren and Jonathan, who inspire me to do everything that I do. Thank you again.
Thank you, Sharon, for the shout out. And I'm so proud of you. Okay, I'm going to go back to being formal. That was awesome. We'll be all talking soon. I'd like to introduce Ismay Murray, a committee member and a member of the seniors group, to recite a poem. Ismay Murray. Okay, is she on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Go for it, Ismay.
Life is beautiful. The COVID is raging. My life is a mess. I live in pajamas and don't have to dress. I'm in isolation. Just staying at home would give my last $1 for freedom to roam. I'm seriously at risk, or that's what they say, telling me to stay in and not go out each day. In my head, I'm so young, though my license reveals I'm a 70+ senior, but that's not how I feel. When I run out of food and deliveries are late, I have to buy groceries between 7 to 8. So early next morning, I go to restock and find a lineup that winds around the block. My latest new outfit is gloves and mask, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm up to the task. I've been talking to myself. Now I'm answering back. Is it Friday? Sorry. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I am answering back. Is it Monday or Friday? I'm really lost track. The bottom line here, by the time this all ends, is that we will get through with family and friends. So even if your partner is a bit of a grump, you can really be grateful you're not married to Trump. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much, Ismay. I tell you, the seniors of the JCA never disappoint. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know. Bring back Samantha Ray to do an original poem, Letter to Self.
Hey guys, it's me again. So this time I'm going to do an original poem, and it's called Letter to Self. You know, a lot of times we know the rise is going to come, that palace moment is going to come, but the pit experience is one of those hardest experiences to go through. And I wrote this poem when I was going through my pit experience, and I hope it really encourages people to keep fighting and keep pushing. This is called Letter to Self by Samantha Ray McLean. I know you're feeling hopeless and drowning in despair. I know you're tired of fighting and you just want that breakthrough. I know the bills are due. I know you feel like there's no one who'll understand, but that's just not true. As self-loathing as you feel, you must get up. Right now, stand up. Do this with me. Breathe in and out. Come on, do it with me one more time. Breathe in and out. You know what that is? That's another chance called life. That's another reason to fight. Life is precious and it can't be spent in self-pity. You have a purpose that you must fulfill, and you won't get there by swimming in self-doubt. Listen, I understand your plight, but you must know that those who are dead, I'm sure, wish they had just one more night. So you must fight. Fight because it's a necessity to win. Fight because you've come too far. Fight because the struggles is just preparation for the stars. You must live your life on principles and not be swayed by feelings. Yes, you feel like you want to give up, and you feel like you've been through too much, and you feel, well, you need to start feeling like a winner. You look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are a winner even when you feel like a loser. You tell yourself that you are worth it even when you feel worthless. Do you not know that you are the child of a king? Do you not know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God? Oh, so you don't know who you are. Well, let me remind you. God said, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. He said, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and give you hope and a future, and God never lies. He also said that faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. Don't you see that you've been holding yourself back? There is power in the tongue, so you need to speak prosperity over your life, and you need to claim what is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. And now I'd like to introduce again our 4 winners, Dion, Marie, Roberta, and Sharon, and we're going to have a brief chat. You know, it would not be us if we never sort of chat too much and go a little over time. So I hope that you understand we're still taking the chat, because to me, this is the most important part. Congratulations to all of you. I am so delighted. So my first question, I thought I would throw you a little curveball. Dion, what is your superpower, my love?
Oh,
superpower. I knew it.
My confidence.
Good, thank you. Marie, what is your superpower?
Oh gosh, probably patience. Probably patience.
Okay, Roberta, what's yours?
Consistency.
Okay, and Sharon, what's yours?
Non-judgmental.
Okay, wonderful. So the question I have for all of you, and I'll ask you in turn, who is one woman who inspires you and why? Start with Dion.
My inspiration right now, Michelle Obama, because as the wife of the former president, she had to endure so much, and she did it with grace and dignity, and she accomplished so much behind the scenes that no one even knew of. And she's just a partner that is every man needs. And so she's my inspiration.
Thank you. Roberta, what about you?
I would say my mommy, Joan Green. She was not only a powerful influence in my life, but also many other women's life. She inspired me to think freely, act passionately, and always make time to lime, laugh, and enjoy life. And she taught me that being African and Black was my birthright, and to take ownership of everything African, no matter the colonial language we're forced to speak. And she was the first Black feminist and womanist I knew, and the one that I wanted to become most like.
Okay, and Marie, I know yours, but
see her there. But along with her, I had a lot of Caribbean mommies and aunties as I was growing up that taught me so many lessons that I've been able to take with me, in all of my travels and in all of who I am. But today, the people that inspire me are the young women coming up today. Have you been watching? You watch them through Black Lives Matter and all of the discussions and conversations that have been going on. They're not taking any shit. They are just, they are stepping up to the plate and taking life on, taking everything on, taking the systems on because of everything that they've watched all of us go through. So them today.
Thank you. And Sharon, who is one woman?
The one woman who I would say inspired me was my mother, who is, I'm sure, looking down today and is by my side in spirit. My mom and I had a unique relationship where I think she understood me and I understood her in a way that was so supportive and inspiring. She's been beside me all the way through medical school and also taught me the importance of trying to balance career and family, because once you have kids, you never stop worrying, and thrive as a Black woman, as a physician, as a mother, as a wife, as a role model. My mom.
Okay, I wanted to just move on about that. About how do you balance your lives with all the challenges, and as Sharon said, have a family life or a personal life. Marie, you travel a lot. You are out there in the world. How do you do that balancing act?
It is difficult. It is very, very difficult. But there are things that I enjoy that I try to do more of. Hanging with the girlfriends. That is one thing that I think we oftentimes forget to do. And reading. Reading, this last couple of weeks, I've had Trey's book, Selena's book. So reading just kind of relaxes me and helps me to cope. Because there are times I do want to say to heck with it all. But again, you remember why you're doing this and the fact that, for me anyway, I'm doing it for the next generation and I want their lives to be better. And that actually calms me as well.
Okay, Dion, what about you?
I've mentioned in my bio, I'm a fitness, I won't say junkie, but I exercise a lot. Actually, in my home right now, I made sure I have a treadmill. With the gym's closed, I also have weights here. So I balance by having my habits. I get up and I work out. Then I will do some reading. I do my work and I'll come back to work out if I have nothing else to do. I also have girlfriends that I hang out with, Zoom with, and when weather permits, we'll go walking together. It's great to get out and get some sunshine and fresh air.
Yeah, I am so envious of all the people who are so disciplined. Roberta, what about yourself?
Number one is my connection with ancestors, talking to my ancestors. They guide me on a daily basis. I love food. I love good food. I love to eat food. I love to have conversations with my family, my friends. I love to lime. I love to wine. I'm sorry, but I love to wine. Listen to my soca, my reggae, my zouk. And just having jokes, because we work in trauma. We work with such, heavy topics on a daily basis that we're living with. So I like to run a joke now and then, definitely.
So Sharon, what about you? How do you balance?
Well, I think one of the most important things when we were going through residency, learning to become a neurologist, the first question at a session, they said, what do you do that you don't actually have to do? So you don't necessarily have to do the cooking and the cleaning and so on. You have to be there for the relationships with your children and with your family, your husband, your friends, and so on. So I thought that was an amazing gift. And I don't do the things that I don't have to do and leave time for the things that I have to do. Very involved with friends. And somebody mentioned reading. I think another important tip I learned was, how do you know if you're too stressed? And for me, if I'm not reading every day, I like to read. So these are the things that are happening. If I find I'm not reading, then I take stock. What's going on that is sending me in the wrong direction. So that I find is, and of course, walking, a bit of yoga, try to be disciplined, Sandy.
I need to come and take lessons from Sharon.
You know, Marie, I tell you, I always say I intend to exercise. So it's getting there, moving. But it's so good to hear that you do have to take time to breathe, because you all have such important, stressful lives. I wanted to ask you, what was the key moment that you found that was challenging in your area of expertise, and how did you make a choice that you did to resolve it? I'm going to start with Sharon.
Okay, so I thought about this, and I would have to say, when I was 17 years of age, that's where my journey actually started then, because I went to the States as a foreign exchange student, and I was very destined to be a physicist. You know, I like math and all that type of stuff. And when I was there, I worked at a rehab center. And this boy at the rehab center had this ginormous head. And of course, he had a neurological condition. And at that moment, I decided I wanted to be a physician. So I had to go back to Jamaica and got into the University of the West Indies and so on. But it was interesting because that was a moment when I decided to be a physician and ultimately became a neurologist. And of course, he had a neurologic condition. And I've always remembered that pivotal moment. And I tell people, you know, seize that moment when you know, because of course, for me, going back to Jamaica, going now out of physics, I had to completely change where I was going. And that's how I ended up as a physician.
And can I tell you, that's the first I've ever heard that story. Wow. Okay. Okay. Interesting. It's Marie, what was your pivotal moment?
I think I have pivotal moments at pivotal times. I have pivotal moments every so often. But it's been, you know, one of the things that you asked was around the challenges. There are challenges that I face and that women in the trade union movement face on a regular basis. And I think that there have been two moments where, maybe three, where I had to take stock and stop and really think about what it is I was doing and why. The first one came when I was actually running for the position, when a union that was mostly women asked me about leaving my children in Toronto while I went to take this job in Ottawa. And I really had to, I mean, I was shocked at the question. And, you know, the fact that a woman would ask that question, particularly when within the trade union movement, there are men leaders that go away all the time, that get elected all the time, and nobody ever blinks an eye, bats an eye, and asks them about how they're going to raise their children. So, I mean, that was one, and I think that made me dig my heels in even more. The second came when I really wanted to quit. I really, really wanted to quit. The racism and discrimination and differential treatment inside the movement is, it's not one for anyone who doesn't really want to push for injustice, be pushed to get rid of injustice, to eradicate injustice, because it's there every single day. But having that and going home and telling my child, I didn't want to do this anymore and I wasn't going to do it. It was taking me away from them. It wasn't making me happy. You know, there was the racism was just rife. And my child looked at me and said, "Are you going to quit? You taught us never to be quitters. Mom, you can't quit." And so when there are days that I think about, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, I think about that moment. And then within the last couple of years, the moment when that convention passed in Geneva, when it was adopted in Geneva, and all the informal workers, majority of them women, started to dance in the back and say, thank you. You don't know how many millions of lives you have saved. And so when I think about all of that, whatever it is that I go through is nothing, right? So I continue to push through it.
Thank you. Dion, what about yourself?
Okay, well, my pivotal moment came in 1996. The government changed in Ontario, and I know it was the Harris government. They amalgamated a lot of hospitals, and nurses were laid off all over. I was a diploma RN working at Cambridge Memorial, and 68 of us got laid off. Most of my friends went to the States to work, and I had a choice whether I was going to go to the States or I was going to stay here and go back to school. And again, my mom came to the rescue. I ended up moving back in with my mom with 2 little girls, and I went back to school full-time at University of Western Ontario. The reason I say that was in high school, I was put into that technical stream where we weren't supposed to go to university. However, the government did grant nurses that were already nurses. We were able to go into a post-RN program, post-RN BSCN program. I went in the program, and no word of a lie, I sat there in a classroom. It was microbiology, and they're saying, remember the polymer chains from your grade 13 biology class? And it's like, I didn't take grade 13 biology. I'm going to fail. That was the first thing that came to my head, and it was like, no, you can't fail. You got 2 girls. You have to be an example for them. So I literally went to HB Beale High School in London, grabbed a textbook, learned grade 13 to go back to school and do the actual work, because they put you into 3rd year university. I passed. I got highest grades again because mom wouldn't let me do anything but my best. And that was pivotal. So once I went back to university and I did well, it was like, oh, I'm not stopping. Master's in nursing, master's in health admin, and I've got 2 years of my PhD completed. But that child that finished high school was told she wasn't university material. So now that was pivotal.
Thank you. That shows you do not listen to anybody who tells you things like that. So Roberta, what was yours?
So for me, coming from a working class background, coming from Blacktivists, there's been many challenges, but also hope. A moment in my career that was challenging was when I was doing my PhD at OISE, University of Toronto. I was legally blind. I didn't have my corneal transplants at that point, working many jobs and in a lot of debt, and in my 5th year of my program. And at that time, they only had 2-year scholarships. I'd come into university wanting to study, of course, Black resistance movements, which is what I knew, and to critically look at the feminist anti-violence movement experienced by Black women particularly, and to develop an emancipatory research methodology. I was told by the supervisor that there was no Black resistance movement, and that during my 5th year of the studies, my supervisor basically dropped me, stating that my anti-colonial theory methods, my Black feminist theory, did not match her own. I was devastated at this. This was my biggest fear. I left there wanting to quit the program. I was like, I'm out of here. I cried, I screamed, I was angry. I spoke to my partner, some sister friends, my sisters, my mommy. And in about a week, I had a new supervisor and went full force to finish my project on Black resistance in the feminist movement, and developed a new research methodology, which I call resistance education, that I still use today. And that led to the development of innovative mental health model called anti-depression psychotherapy, which I use with my clients and train people today. So people will always say to you no, and I will always say to them yes.
Okay, wow. You all are so inspiring. So I'm going to have 2 final questions. One is, what advice would you give to young women? Dion, let's start with you.
Advice is be confident, know exactly who you are, and do not believe anyone who tells you can't. Because that's one thing, if you believe that and internalize it, it becomes true, but always believe in yourself and be extremely confident.
Thank you. Roberta, may I ask Marie and Sharon to unmute as well? So when we get to you. So Dr. Roberta, what advice would you give?
I think one, that you come from a line of ancestral Black women, strong women who have led the way and journey and are there with you, to continue to be yourself, to always be your, resistance is you, to speak your mind, do what you need to do, and also get support and always be a part of, get support, and also have wellness as a part of your life as we continue this journey together. We are there for you. We are transgenerational.
Okay, Marie, what advice would you give?
I would give exactly the same advice that Dion and Roberta gave, probably Sharon too, but also encourage them to continue to question, always question. Don't take anything as, you know, the written word, and question everybody that you can, shadow people. Don't be afraid to call on, you know, any one of us that are around there to get assistance, because we didn't know it all when we started either, and we still don't know it all. There's still people that I go to for support and I lean on for support every single day, and they need to know it doesn't get easier, but it gets better when you are surrounded by your sisters and the people that care about you.
Thanks. And Sharon, what advice would you give?
So first thing I would say is do not be afraid to take risks. Risks mean that you're growing. And so you've got to take risks. And the other thing is you're probably much better off and have many more skills than you actually believe. Yeah. So you have to believe in yourself, and you have to seek out people who can help you. You cannot do any of this alone. And so do not be afraid to ask for help. Find a mentor. Find a mentor from in high school, from a mentor in university when you start a job. And now we're even saying find a sponsor. So a sponsor is a person like myself, you know, old in age, who can now move and guide you through the organization. That's what I would tell people today, because when I started out, there were no women to be mentors and sponsors for me. And so I'm determined that this is where I'm going to make a mark for young people.
Yeah. Okay, and that saying from Jamaica, one hand can't clap, is so true. And my final question, we could be talking for a long time. This is so interesting. You all are so inspiring. My final thing, I'm going to start with Marie. What gives you hope?
Listening to young people like Amanda Gorman, listening to, you know, the young trade unionists that are taking on the system. You know, it's not a bad thing to take on the system that you belong to. It only can make it better. And so those that are stepping forward today give me a lot of hope. My sistren that are sitting here, that are my fellow awardees, they give me hope, because you know that you're not out there by yourself, and you know that there is someone there that you can call, that you can reach out to, that is also there to femtor you.
Thank you. Roberta, what gives you hope?
This might sound weird, but I think we all have been breastfed with hope as African women, you know. So again, everybody here.
Oh no.
What happened? Did we
froze.
lose you? Oh, okay. She froze. Okay. So Dion, what gives you hope?
Well, the younger generation, of course, and I have 3 beautiful girls, and they're very determined. They're very confident as well, and they are achieving anything that they're setting their minds to. It inspires me because my oldest daughter is also a nurse, and when faced with a challenge, instead of staying and taking it like my generation would, it's like, no, Mom, I'm going to look for something else. I'm going to look for something that, you know, satisfies her and brings her joy. She's not staying. So it's like, okay, all right. So I'm very inspired and very hopeful for the younger generation.
Thank you. Roberta, we got cut off. Did you want to finish?
Yeah, just saying, you know, my nieces, my daughters, everybody in this room, the music, the art, the creativity of, you know, of African diaspora, the continent, all of our people bring me hope. And yeah, I think that's what hope is for me.
And Sharon, you have the final word. What gives you hope?
Okay, so what gives me hope, of course, is young people. I totally agree. They push the envelope and they push the boundaries, and they invite us to come along for the journey. And if we're not ready, they'll actually leave us out. So they give me a lot of hope. But I also think that I have hope for where Black people are headed as a as a group. You know, we have resilience, we have music, we have art, we have culture, we have physicians. We know what we need. And I think that in Canada, over the past 2 years, it's such a pivotal moment where we can actually seek it out, not just ask, demand and get what we need. Demand and get what we need. And for my kids, my 2 boys, can't tell you how I'm pleased to be in this position at this time in history. It's unique.
Thank you. I like it. Demand and get what we need. Women, ladies, amazing JCA winners. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations to you all. It is an honor to know you. And I am chuffed, pleased as punch, to have been here. And so we're going to ask Marianne Chambers, herself a trailblazer, former Ontario member of Provincial Parliament, to give a little commentary on what you all talked about. Marianne.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you. And it's nice to meet another member of your family. We will all be leaving this celebration feeling inspired, uplifted, and extremely proud. I must express sincere gratitude to the JCA and its Women's Committee for every year, for 21 years, without fail, introducing us to women who are making extraordinary contributions to the quality of life we all seek to enjoy. And when we have this kind of recognition happening at a time when COVID is highlighting and worsening the prevalence of many inequities while disproportionately impacting women around the world, and when we have this kind of recognition happening in a society that needs to be better informed about what our women, our Black women, are contributing to making life better for everyone, today's event is even more special. The women we are honoring today have earned this recognition. Their contributions deserve attention. They must not be taken for granted. When I read about Dr. Sharon Whiting, the pediatric neurologist, Marie Clark Walker, Secretary Treasurer of the Canadian Labour Congress, Dion Sinclair, Healthcare Executive and Director of Diversity and Cultural Advancement for South Lake Regional Health Center and Aurelia Soldiers Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Roberta Timothy, Director of Health Promotion at the University of Toronto's Dalla Lana School of Public Health. I looked forward to hearing what they would share with us today. I was especially excited because all of these women are making their mark in very senior roles and in settings that would not be commonly viewed as traditional for Black or otherwise racialized women. And in doing so, they are also creating paths for others to follow. We have heard that excellence and its pursuit is a journey filled with both non-trivial challenges and also rewards. Nothing worthwhile seems to happen smoothly or easily. Our honorees have reminded us that the examples and the inspiration parents, especially moms, it seems, young women, and others can provide should never be underestimated. We have also heard the passion that these women have for the work they do. There is no replacement for passion, wisdom, hard work, and determination. We heard resilience, selflessness, discipline, confidence, patience, being non-judgmental. We heard failure is not an option. We heard how important it is to believe in ourselves and not to be afraid to take risks. This year's theme for International Women's Day rings true for our honorees. They have chosen to challenge the status quo in their fields, and they are doing so successfully. Thank you, Sandra, for encouraging our honorees to share their valuable insights with us. It really is so important to celebrate big achievements, progress towards our goals, even small wins. I hope our honorees feel our collective pride and are further energized to continue excelling at the work that they do to the benefit of all of us. Celebration turns the spotlight on those who can be role models for others, for the rest of us, providing motivation and encouragement. We also heard that mentorship and sponsorship matter. We often hear it said that we cannot be what we cannot see. We need to know these impressive stories. They are, in fact, reason to be hopeful. And to Camille, Hannes King, and the entire JCA Women's Committee, I say thank you for giving us this inspiring and uplifting treat. Bravo. Well done. I'm already looking forward to next year's International Women's Day celebration.
Thank you so much, Mary Ann. And thank you to all who participated, Camille and the committee, Sandra Young from the membership committee, Alton Brooks, all the entertainers, and most especially, thank you to our awardees. And we will end our program with Tara Grant doing a reggae medley. It has been my privilege and honor to have been your host. Thanks again.
Let's get this workout started. Experience the new Peloton tread with total.
Ooh, 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 yeah. Hey, little boy, each time you pass my way, I'm tempted to touch. Ooh, baby, the shirt you wear, the cologne keeps me wanting you so much. Now I can't stop thinking of you, of all the lonely nights that you put me through. Come on, baby, let's sit down, talk about it, close the deal. I want a love I can feel. It's the only kind that I think is real. Don't want to be going by something I heard, 'cause baby, action speaks louder than words. The first time I met you, I couldn't forget you. Boy, I know I really had to get you. The first time I met you, I couldn't forget you. Boy, I know I really had to get you. I saw you down the lane, boy. Whoa, love you like a fresh vegetable. So tell me if you love Tara Rebel. Me love you like a fresh vegetable. So tell me if you love Tara Rebel. Ooh, the shape I'm in. Would you believe I've lost the race again? But I'm coming again, 'cause I just gotta get in. 'Cause I'm trying to get to you, to you, to you. You say you love me, baby, and we should be together. But you just drive me crazy. Now that we are together, I can't wait till the morning comes. And I can't wait till the evening's done. You call me on the telephone and tell me you're coming home. Oh, oh, Lord of mercy, why? You said you love me, baby, and we should be together, but you just drive me crazy. Now that we are together, I can't wait till the morning comes.